Welcome back to Breakfast with Bob. We're at Challenge Laguna Phuket, one of the classiest events on the planet here. And our two-time Laguna Phuket 70.3 champion, who won last weekend here, Melissa Hauschildt, joins us. And Melissa, I know you're not feeling great. You had a little food poisoning?
Yeah, I ate some fish on Tuesday. So, haven't had much sleep and haven't been able to keep anything down since. So, a little dizzy at the moment.
Every time someone gets around me, they get stomach issues. I don't know what the deal is. So, Melissa, as much as I like this triathlon stuff, you know my main fascination is steeplechase. And the fact that you were a Commonwealth Games silver medalist, Goodwill Games gold medalist in what I consider one of the toughest events out there. When did you get into steeple? Because steeple for women wasn't that common until fairly recently.
Yeah, I was 15 when I first started it. I actually ended up jumping in with the boys because it wasn't an event for the girls.
The girls couldn't race at all, right? They didn't have their separate thing.
We weren't allowed to, and then they eventually brought it in for the girls, and they lowered the steeple a little bit so we could get over it.
So you didn't need a ladder.
Yeah. And then they brought it in, and just absolutely loved it. It was my favorite event.
And at that time, it's still it's in the Olympics now, right?
Yeah, it's
but it's only been a few Olympics.
It's been in the Olympics, I think, since 2004.
Okay, 2004. Yeah. So when you took the Goodwill Games gold medal in 2001, were you thinking, maybe I can make an Olympic team in this?
Yeah, that was the first major championship it was in, and we had all the Kenyans and Ethiopians there, and everyone giving it a go, and I won it, and I was still in school then, so it was pretty exciting, and. Yeah, I was hoping to make it to the Olympics, but got injured before every time the Olympics rolled around. So.
And what type of injuries were you getting?
I was getting stress fractures. So it's probably not the best event to do a steeplechase when you get stress fractures.
And then just from running on those tracks are so hard.
Oh, they're softer than the road, actually.
It was really from the training on the road?
Yeah, I think just the faster pace training. Everyone's seen me run. I bounce 2 meters off the ground. So, the faster you're running, the heavier you're hitting the ground. So
right.
I think that's what caused it. And ever since I've switched over to triathlons, it's been a lot slower pace. And, I've stayed in one piece.
So the transition from, and the thing I loved about steeple was that everybody congregated at the pit, right? That was the action, the water pit. What did you see in some of the carnage that you saw over the years in the water pit?
Yeah, everyone was always at the pit. Everyone said they only watched the steeplechase for the crashes.
Exactly. It's like waiting for a car crash when you're watching car racing.
Yeah, that's what makes it interesting. There's been plenty of crashes. I've done a classic one where I've slipped right under, and it's concrete down the bottom of the pit. The tartan only runs so far down, so if you fall in that bit, you can't get out. You just keep slipping and you just keep going under. And I ended up crawling out on all fours.
You basically, and so were people jumping over you?
No, luckily nobody else was coming through at the time. So, I had a bit of time to crawl out of there.
When did you make the move from steeple to triathlon? What led to that?
I was trying to make the Commonwealth Games again in 2010 for the steeplechase and got injured. So that was when I decided to get on a bike and start riding, and I really didn't know what I was going to do in 2010. I thought, maybe still I'd do running, but the Gold Coast Half Ironman rolled around in October 2010, so I thought I'd have a try at that, and I won it. And
that's a good sign.
So, everyone thought, okay, triathlon's the thing, but it hurt like hell, and I thought maybe I can still make it running. Hopefully I can still make it running.
And what were you doing for a bike? I'm imagining if you're doing your first triathlon, you're not really...
Yeah, I was on a borrowed bike.
A borrowed bike. So you won
a borrowed bike, a borrowed wetsuit, a borrowed race belt.
And obviously that told you that you had some talent for this sport.
I didn't know what was going on. I knew I had some talent because I won it, but I didn't want to ever do one again.
Really? So you were like, one and done. I did that. That was plenty. I'm out.
Yeah. I thought it must have been a fluke. I got to the finish line in one piece, and I thought if I can just get through that finish line, I'm never doing another one again. And that's kind of what got me through the run.
Knowing that you'd never have to do it again.
Knowing that I wouldn't have to do another one again as long as I finish this one.
When did you change your mind on that?
My next race was Phuket here in December.
Okay.
So it took me a little while to do another one again.
Right.
Yeah.
And
standing on the start line, I thought, why am I doing this
why
again?
am I doing this? But look at the success you've had. You've won the 70.3 World Championships twice. You've, like you said, you won here. I was just looking at your September. Well, in September, you won what? Augusta 70.3, Cozumel.
I did 4 races in September.
Yeah, 70.3 Worlds, right? You're the first woman to win 70.3 Worlds twice. Second at High V. And people are like, well, she finished second. But second against all the ITU gals, right? That's
I was pretty excited about that.
Yeah, that to me is a huge deal. When I see someone like yourself or a couple years earlier, Marinda Carfrae taking second there, you're going, wow, our gals are running fast if they're able to stay with those guys.
Yeah. Considering I gave him 3-minute lead or something, it was a tough call, and I was really, really happy with that. I think I still got off the bike about 6th place or something, so then had to run myself up to second.
And not like you're running by me. You're running by fast people.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So last week you won here. And what is it about this? You've had success here. What is it about this area that you like and this course that you like? 'Cause this is a technical course. Did you fall down twice last week?
Yeah. Yeah.
You won the race and you fell down twice.
Oh, it was a crazy race. The road, it didn't actually rain, but all the roads were wet, and the first 10K I came down twice.
Really?
Yeah, it was so slippery. I just could not stay up. The first time it was go over the edge or take a tumble. So I let my bike down, so it was a bit of a soft landing and just slid down that hill. And the next one, everything was locking up and I didn't know what to do. I could see it was turning sharp at the end, so I ended up unclipping and sliding down on my feet. So that one was pretty not painful either. But yeah.
That is wild. So the fact that you crashed twice and then still, what place were you off the bike?
I got off the bike first.
You still got off the bike even though you fell down twice?
Yeah. I had Macca on my ass the whole way, actually.
Really?
I was so slow on the corners, I kept dropping him on the flat, but then he kept catching up on the corners. And I said to him, just go. I can't get around these corners. I've crashed twice. I'm just going to get to the finish line.
Was he talking to you?
Oh, no, he wanted to stay out of our race, so he kept staying behind me, but I just said, you're going to run up my ass soon.
Get out of here. I'm
almost walking around these corners.
That is funny. So being from Australia and having the legends of McKeely Jones and Craig Alexander and Greg Welch and Macca, because you were coming from a steeplechase background, were you aware of those folks, or did you find out about them when you got into the sport of triathlon?
I didn't even know what Ironman was.
You didn't know?
When I started. My manager at the time, he said, what about triathlon? Can you swim? And I'd never swum before, but I did a few swim lessons, and then I said, I can't keep up with these girls in the water though. And he said, there's long course triathlon. And that's when I did Gold Coast Half Ironman.
And won it.
Yeah. And then, he gave me all these DVDs. He said, watch this, and watching Kona.
Yes, right.
And I was just like, oh, okay, so this is what Ironman is.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Ironman was surf Ironman. That's what we have in Australia.
Absolutely. And is Ironman something, what's great about this era, I think someone can make a pretty good living as a 70.3 half Ironman, Olympic distance. There's so many races, and a lot of races have dollars in them. Is the Ironman appealing to you at all? That's a long day. And I mean, when you race 4 times in 1 month, I'm imagining you like to race. And if you get into Ironman or iron distance racing, all of a sudden the number of races sort of has to come down, unless you're Chrissy Wellington.
Yeah. Well, that's the dilemma I got at the moment. I want to win Kona, obviously.
Right.
That's the major goal, but I do love racing. And I know if I do Kona, I can't race as much. I've done probably 16 races.
16 races this year, yeah.
Yeah, and you can back up week after week doing half Ironmans, and you don't have to get that massive long training block in like you have to for an Ironman.
Right.
So, yeah, that's the dilemma, and I've got to start working out my race schedule soon and see if I'll do it next year or wait another year.
The deal is for you at this point, you'd have to change the points then to get a slot in Kona.
No, I've actually only just got to finish one.
Because of winning 70.3
Vegas.
Worlds.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So you could validate, just go and do one and
validate, see if I like it.
Exactly, figure out, because the main deal is transition from Olympic distance to 70.3 and a half, like a challenge race, doesn't seem to be as bad as going from the half to the full, in terms of you have to deal with all the nutrition and everything else. I
think that would be the hardest bit, the nutrition. I've got to run a bit more, but I'm sure I do enough swim and bike. Yeah. I'm actually better in the longer swim. So I don't have the speed, and I love the bike. I'm always on the bike. So, a bit more running, but the nutrition side of it, just not sure if I could down any more gels and stuff like that. So I'd have to, really work on that.
What is it about this course that you like? Obviously, you've had success.
Yeah, I love this course. I love the place, the people, just everything about it. But the swim, part of it's in the ocean, and then you run up and over this little hill and then through the lagoons. That makes it a bit different. The bike, when it's dry, it's really fun.
Yes.
It's got lots of hills. It's got 22% hills. So
22% grades.
Yeah,
wow.
So it's quite steep, and the scenery as well on the bike. You're going past the beach, you're going through the jungle
towns,
part. It's really cool. And the run course, it's cross country. It's
a trail.
I'm back at home. Yeah, it's got some on the road. It's got some through the elephant park.
Yeah.
You go through the golf course, so it's got a bit of everything. So it makes it a bit more exciting.
I think, were you on a bronze medal team for Australian cross country?
Yeah, I've done quite a few cross country teams. So
you love cross country?
I love cross country, yeah. Much prefer to be on cross country than on the roads.
Yeah. So you'll have to make your decision fairly soon in terms of if you're going to go and try to do an Ironman or try to get yourself to Kona next year.
Yeah, mentally run on the road for 42K.
That's a long way, isn't it?
Yeah.
And no jumps or anything, no water pits.
No, I have to jump over the water tables or something. Make it a bit more exciting.
Well, good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
And main thing is, feel better. I'm so sorry. What a sport you are to come here and do the interview when you're not feeling good. That was very, very nice of you to do.
Yeah, just try and get some food in, and hopefully I can keep it down.
That would be nice. That would be nice. Well, I'm sure from everybody we talk to, everybody's just like, you know what, Melissa does so well on this course. She really seems to obviously loves the course, but also excels on this course.
Fingers crossed it doesn't rain.
Yes, no more rain,
I can
right?
Stay up.
All right, Melissa Hauschildt has been our guest. Again, this is Breakfast with Bob. We're at the Challenge Laguna Phuket. Hold on, everyone. We'll be right back.